Hello, dear Taurus. I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your October 2021 horoscope. And we're going to get right to it. This is for your Taurus sun, moon, or rising sign. And we have Mercury retrograde in Libra, and this is in your sixth house. So you've got a Libra sixth house. We've got a new moon also in Libra, and we've got a sun Mars canoodling happening all at this first week of October. And Mercury went retrograde, it stationed retrograde on the 27th of September and will stay retrograde until October 18th. Now, it doesn't get out of shadow until November. So the entire month of October is colored with Mercury retrograde. And so the highlight for you in the month of October is your sixth house, which is all about your daily routines, your coworkers. It's about health. It's about the rituals that you do, the habits. And so you may be revisiting, relooking, redoing, reinventing, all those RE words with Mercury retrograde here in the sixth house about what your daily routines may look like, or if there was a health issue that you were trying to find answers and solutions for, this is a great time that it may just drop in. And it may come because you are setting up some new habits. It may be that there's a health issue that needs to have a new habit formed. In other words, maybe you need to quit smoking, or maybe you need to set up an exercise routine or start juicing. I mean, it could be many different things for you, of course, but most likely it will offer you some form of solution, because this is the last Mercury retrograde of the year. It's in the air sign of Libra. Libra's ruled by Venus, and so are you. And so I would imagine that this also allows you to work within relationship, maybe relationship with the body, relationship with the mind, but also relationship with the people that you surround yourself on a daily basis. So it could be family members, but also most likely coworkers and the people that you interact with on a regular basis. Some of you Tauruses are involved in health and fitness as far as your profession. And so what you may be encountering is that there's some client relationships that maybe got a little confusing. And during this time, you could clean that up a little bit, but you're going to have to revisit the conversations or the way in which maybe you were working with them. It could be that there was a legal matter, and I hope that's not the case for you guys, but if it is, a legal matter that may have started a few months ago that now gets to be wrapped up. Some truth comes out here. And part of the reason that I offer this is that this new moon in Libra, on October 6th, is going to be canoodling with Mars. So there could be some real forceful energy here that shows up, and the intensity and the passion in which to get to this harmonious balance that Libra demands. You're going to be looking for that in your daily routines and the coworkers and people that you interact with. Now, this can also offer some intense feelings during this new moon. And I realize new moons are not great initiatory times. However, with Mars here, I would offer, even though it's more passive in Libra, it's still got the energy and passion that comes with Mars. And so you may be looking, if you've had some conflict within your coworker relationships, that now you may be driven to find some sort of win-win. And it may just need a little extra oomph from you in pushing to get that agenda and to bring them back to the bigger picture. It's really going to be important that you keep people on the same page, and that the personal agendas are not as dominant as the collective agenda, so that you can get some things done. Now, Venus moves into Sagittarius also around this new moon, so just the day after, and Pluto goes direct. And so your eighth house is being energized with Venus. And of course, Pluto direct in Capricorn offers this extra boost of power and energy for you, because it makes a natural trine to your sun, moon, or rising in Taurus. And so if you felt a little stagnant and trying to really bond deeply with others and to really get your point across, or to get that passion or that desire going for a particular project, or maybe you've been waiting for a loan to come through, because eighth house has to do with other people's resources or joint resources. So inheritance, and it's also the house of transformation. So if you feel as though you've been waiting to maybe leave the current job and move into a new role at a new company, this is the time now that you can find that internal power, and you can partner really powerfully with a new employer. And with Venus in Sagittarius here activating this eighth house, you may be looking for a place that gives you inspiration, a chance that allows you to grow and expand your philosophy on life, but also more about how you can be more transformed. I'm trying to find words here. Recording this as Mercury is in shadow before it goes retrograde, so you have to bear with me here, Taurus. But what you're going to find is that with Venus here is that she's going to be attracting to you adventures when it comes to, maybe it's sex, maybe the way, even though eighth house is more about the unification and transformation that happens with the orgasm and sex, it's not so much about the love affair that the fifth house has. But getting back to Venus here, you may find that you go deeper into the relationships that are more meaningful and have greater value for you by having this open-minded, carefree kind of attitude. And it allows you to transform the way in which you interact with your belief system around relationship and around what you truly value. If you are a single Taurus, when Venus moves into Sagittarius here at the beginning of October, it is a great time to pull that beloved in, that person that you had your eye on or that you've been wanting to date for a while, or maybe get involved in dating. It's a great time to just play around with it, do a little research on it, ask those, if you're just starting to date somebody, ask those more potent questions that allow you to go, oh, I didn't know that about you. It gives you a chance to learn. And in that learning, that intelligence also attracts them to you. Now, if you're coupled, this kind of carefree, intellectual, open-minded attitude helps things get a little bit lighter. So if you feel like you have had some really deep, like serious discussions, this is a time where you just go, let's just have an adventure. Let's have a good attitude about what we want. Now, I will say that spending and expenses could go up with Venus here in Sagittarius, because you may want to throw a party. I mean, this is a very social time. Libra loves to socialize, and with the sun and Mars and Mercury and the new moon all in Libra at the beginning of October, you may find your social calendar is huge. It's like blown up. And because Venus is going to make a sextile here to your sixth house, it could be that your social life is plagued in a good way, hopefully, with happy hours or coworkers getting together. And maybe if you're coupled, you bring your spouse with you, or if you are dating, maybe you go and hang out with the friends, but it's people that they work with, things like that. But throw a fabulous party. Just watch how much you're spending, because I will say that it could go up here with Venus in your eighth house. Now, I mentioned the Sun and Mars canoodling on October 7th, also as Venus moves into Sagittarius. So again, your sixth house has this extra intensive energy and vitality, and you're ready to get things done. So while your social calendar may be really up, your work calendar, your daily routines also have to be energized and taken care of. So this could be a great time to check things off, to kick ass and take names, to finish up projects. I also feel as though this is a great time for you to celebrate something in your daily life. And so it may be that there was a relationship matter, like I mentioned about coworker, for example, that you finally get to a solution that you both agree upon, and it actually can push the project further and give you maybe a leadership role, or at least some sort of accolade. Now, Saturn turns direct October 11th. This is going to be in your 10th house. So if you felt a little stagnant or you've had to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes with your work. Maybe you were finishing up some writing projects, or there was something around the speaking, things like that, and you were putting presentations together. With Saturn going direct, you're now ready to see the fruits of your labor. Maybe you had, over the last couple of months when Saturn was retrograde, maybe you've had some of the activities around, you published a book, or maybe you presented a course, or you're an actor and you finally got, were able to record and film your next gig, and then it just hasn't been released yet. So here comes Saturn direct, and you can have it released, or maybe it was released and you don't know how well it did yet. And now you get to see that the fruit of your labor is paying off. It may take a little bit of more time because Saturn rules time, but you'll find that time is more of a friend than a foe now. And especially if you've been consternated with your career or the way in which you want the public to view you, that they may have seen you a little behind the scenes, or you may not have been given the attention that you really deserve, or the work that you're doing isn't getting the attention. But now you find that everything starts flooding in, and there is much more emphasis on resolution from the past and stepping into this new reality. So if you feel as though there was something from the past that just wasn't settled yet, this is a great month for it to get settled. I really feel October is a month of wrapping things up and settling them. Now, we do have Venus sextiling Saturn October 13th, and it's going to activate your 8th and 10th house, giving an increased need of connection and relationship and the sense of belonging to something bigger than yourself. That's what can get activated here. And you're going to have this very intense, transformative kind of way in which you are either helping others as they go through their transformation because you've gone through it, or you're going to present yourself out to the world. Your work speaks for itself, who you are, the way you speak, the way you hold yourself, and it allows some greater financial opportunities, maybe lasting stability here, that you go, yeah, this is really what I'm meant to do. Mercury stations direct, as I mentioned, October 18th. On this day, Mars and Jupiter also make a trine, and Jupiter goes direct. This is a really cool Mercury direct. Now, we know that it takes a little bit of push for Mercury to get out of shadow. However, this is a day, and we're probably going to feel it leading up to this day, but on this day, that fortune favors the bold. So step out of your comfort zone, do something a little bit different than you've done before, and you can see how it will just expand and echo and reverberate out into the world. And it allows you to be able to have relationships that feel really expansive and allow you to share your gifts with others, because this is your 7th and 11th house being active right now. And what it does do is it offers you a chance to be able to really go and find all these future possibilities. And you may find that communication and collaboration lead to really big decisions and expand all these wonderful opportunities. Those of you who are dating or coupled, you're going to find yourselves planning a future, and it's sort of this go big or go home kind of thing. Now, we have an Aries full moon on October 20th. This is going to activate that 12th and 6th house. And so what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to let go of the fear of the things that were hidden from you that need to be now given to the light. And that you can now, instead of disowning them, you can use them as a tool for your daily habits of better health. Many of you may have found, say, a therapist, and now you're using the tools that you've learned in therapy to be able to release those things that kept you stuck. And it allows you to have this deeper love for yourself, which only provides you a greater opportunity to share that love with others. It also has an indication here in this full moon that you will be releasing, letting go, but you need to retreat in order to do that. So even though sometimes a full moon, especially in Aries, has this push to be able to I guess, shine or stand out, right? There's a lot of action. We see a lot of fruits of our labor during a full moon. I would sense that you'll get that, but you'll need to retreat first because of this 12th house being activated. You also may feel a little bit isolated, and it's because of this feeling of isolation that you're like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to now present to the world what I have been working on and how I do it to the best of my ability. And any sort of pushback or conflicts that you may get or that may arise is that you will find ways to stay in that heart-centered space so that you can envelop others and let them know, hey, it's okay to be different. You have this loving, warm, friendly approach to your work and to those that you interact with on a regular basis. And so with your courage and with your passion to go really deep into the subconscious, you can then find all those wonderful gifts that you have and share them with others, uplifting them, encouraging them. And that's what I would sense this full moon offers. There is a small percentage of Tauruses here that will have to undergo surgery and have some sort of, we'll say, release of unwanted health during this time. So please take your time. Please make sure that you have the support you need as you go through that, because that also goes back to radical self-love and self-care. Now, we have the sun moving into Scorpio on October 23rd, and this further activates your 7th house. And so what this is most likely going to activate for you is you want that deeper, more meaningful connection in relationship. There's a certain element of control here with Scorpio, as well as strength and stamina. And so if you're partnered with somebody and they're going through something, you're going to be that, not that you aren't already, but you're really going to be that force that just stabilizes and that says, I got you. I'm not going anywhere. I love you. And if you are single, you may decide that you're going to stabilize yourself and put yourself out there to others. And you're looking to connect really deeply. You're looking for the person that allows you to feel safe and that you can trust they have your back. And then you'll be able to find loyalty, and you'll see it's rewarded. Anybody who betrays you, now with 7th house here, there's open enemies or competition that's often indicated. And if there's any sort of betrayal or there's any sort of conflict there, you may just cut that out. And it's further going to be emphasized when Mars moves into its traditional ruled, Scorpio is traditionally ruled by Mars, moves into your 7th house at the end of the month, further activating this kind of passion and drive and courage that needs to be there so that you can either fight for your partner or you fight for yourself, or you're fighting for someone that needs your strength, that needs your courage, that needs your steadfastness. There's also an indication here that you'll have to keep your passions under control, because if you are triggered by someone, then it's very easy for you to just go, that's it. I'm flying off the handle and that's the way it's going to be. It also has an indication here, 7th house, that a particular relationship, if there is something that the person has been withholding from you, this is a time where it can come out. However, I would say the majority of you Tauruses are going to enjoy this month of October with all the socializing, with the good health, with the good routines that you're putting into place, as well as finding, if you're single, finding somebody that you really want to form strong bonds with, or having that declaration from someone that says, you're my person. I want to see where this goes. I want just you. I would imagine single Tauruses will most likely go into exclusivity in a dating relationship, and coupled Tauruses will go deeper into connecting, probably get pregnant, maybe buy a home together, or just start planning this bigger future, which just bonds you that much closer. Intimacy and socializing are two big themes. All right, Taurus, I really hope that this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and find me at jamiedawn.com. Have such a good month.